Welcome, everybody. I know that it is bitter cold outside and still not as cold as it's going to be overnight and tomorrow and the next couple of days. So thank you guys for coming. I know it's President's Day. It is not a holiday for BPU, so we moved forward with our dedicated team here at BPU. Did I say that right, Mr. Ash? Team?
BPU?
Absolutely. Go team. Seriously, thank you guys for coming tonight. I know we've got at least one of us online tonight. I know a couple of others were indicated that they may need to join online, so hopefully they'll be able to join if they don't come in person, which is good. We've got your same board folks back this year. We wanted to see the second year of the initial 2 years of the Community Engagement Committee through. So Mary and Stevie and myself are here. Stevie's got on his, well, we won a championship one of those years, just wasn't this one. He's got on his nice hoodie there. And I just wanted to open with a few remarks tonight, and not the least of which is, I know that Jeremy has previously joined our meetings in Bill's stead, at least for a couple of them in Bill's stead last year. And as everyone knows, Jeremy is our new general manager of BPU as of January 1. I want to say December 27th, but I think it was really January 1.
Yeah.
As of January 1. And I know that some of you on community ambassadors participated in the process to interview the final two candidates that we had. And we really, really appreciate the input that you guys had. We appreciate you guys participating in that. And I just, you know, as everyone knows, this was a unanimous decision by the board. And, you know, we had an outside agency go and find some candidates for us. And they found 4 amazing candidates for us, one of which, of course, was Jeremy. And the board did the significant amount of diligence on this through the process, and we could not have been happier to be able to hire this position from within, somebody who was born, raised here in KCK, has been at BPU for a while, but you know, the excitement that he brought to the process was palpable to all of us. And, you know, I, at one point in time, looked at him and said, you know, I really feel as though you've been waiting for this your whole life. And not waiting because he expected it to be given to him, waiting because he was so excited to take over this position in this community at this point in time. And so, with that, I want to give Jeremy a couple of minutes just to, you know, talk to the committee a little bit and just do what you do, team leader.
Well, first thing we do, right, is talk about the team.
That's right.
No, but I'm excited to be here. I think those did way more than I deserved, but she did touch on one thing that I think we all have right now. It's exciting because we are in a whole new kind of phase of what BPU looks like, what it's going to look like in the next, even continuing down the next year. So it's not just, you know, Bill's departure. We had a lot of key departures last year from the senior executive team, and I was fortunate enough that, you know, Mr. Johnson let me participate in you know, finding these two ladies here was part of that. I know you met them last year, but in the last I'll say year, we've replaced the chief administrative officer, chief communications officer, chief compliance officer, a general manager. We've had the executive director of customer service retire out, and we're in process of filling that role, and we've got our CFO leaving the end of this month. So it is exciting. There's a lot of opportunity, and the team is working diligently now to be sure we're just kind of reposing everything we can repose, because that's quite a lot all leaving at once. But it does provide opportunity for new sets of eyes to look at things, people that we've brought in from outside the company with a different perspective on things, but also, you know, trying to have some balance too and promote the capable people that have come up through the organization organically so that we maintain that balance and we understand where we're at, how we got here, maybe some things we don't want to repeat, but also bring in that outside experience to give us all a reset and a refreshed perspective on things to drive improvements and efficiencies. So that's what we're trying to do. And some of the other key hires we've made in the last 12, 15, 18 months, those things are all paying dividends. Our power plant, I was sharing with the board, we turned over key leadership at the power plant, and if you look at the December 2023 time frame, the plant didn't run at all. And you look at the January 24 time frame, the plant ran like 9 days or something. If you go back to December of 24 and all of 25, that plant's ran, I mean, every hour of 2025, and I think 23 or 27 days of December. So the people we're bringing in with the different experiences, the different ways of doing things are showing, you know, it's showing that our investment in some outside folks with different perspectives is paying off, and we're going to look to continue that. But again, support and develop those internal people that we have that have high ceilings and a lot of bandwidth left, and still promote organically too, because that's important to BPU and to the community and to the people that we give opportunities to. So I think, participate in 3 of the 4 meetings last year here, so appreciate that. We did have some good discussions. I appreciate that. I am going to come to these and at least kick them off and talk to folks, take some questions. I know Gabi's got a great presentation to give you in a little bit, and so I'm excited myself to see that. So I'm going to stay involved with the committee to the extent that I'm not stepping on anybody's toes, because it's a goal that the board has for me, is to get more visible and get BPU more visible out in the community and things. And so we've already gotten on some dockets. I think we're on Livable Neighborhoods in April or May. We were supposed to be out with Kiwanis last week. They got snowed out, so we've rescheduled that for I think March 13th or something like that. We've had a couple of kind of collaborative strategy meetings already with teams from the unified government, trying to figure out how we share the same message at the same time in the same way, and that we're all kind of rowing the right direction together. I know Abby and her team met with Crystal and her team and talked through those different communications things and replying to customers. Amber and her team met with Ashley Hand, and we had the first ever BPU economic development meeting with Unified Government Economic Development folks and Wyandotte EDC folks in the room at the same time, all here at our place. We hosted CABA's annual business meeting in January. So we're trying to refocus and repush out what we do in the community and how we do it, and not just be reactive to everything. We're trying to get out there where people are and meet them where they're at, take our information to them, and see how we can help folks and the different community organizations around the community. So I'm excited, proud of the team we have, because I think we are positioned now, today, better than we ever have been in my 15 years of walking the leadership floors. We're in a better position today to do that than we have been. So super excited about that. Rose touched on the weather. We spent last week and part of the weekend shifts making sure that clean coal's pushed around, the bunkers are full, ready to burn. We've got a load of fuel oil in, our CTs are ready to go. We're turning over water in the water tanks now, up a little bit and make sure that we're not setting ourselves up for any system disturbances there. And the field crews they've gotten around and staged materials and different things. We've loaded up a little bit on our troubleshooters. Those are people, when you call and you have a problem, they come to your house, whether it be for your lights or water. So we've loaded up on them a little bit just to be sure we can respond to things timely, because that cold is so dangerous when it's this low. We want to be able to respond quickly and restore anything we can quickly for folks. So we're just going to sit like everybody else and just hope it's a regular old snow and everybody can get on down the road come Wednesday or Thursday. So, but happy to be here, and I think you'll be excited too as the year goes on and all the different things that we're going to take on as a team and all the great customer service enhancements that are kind of teed up. So, thank you.
So have you gotten any feedback externally and internally from just like the public and staff? I mean, I know there was a lot of positions that kind of left that, and that's okay too, but I just wonder, you personally, have you heard much?
From
pattern difference, just from,
Yeah.
The people, because I know when you do a national search, and I know that was one of the things
Yeah.
that was definitely promoted, but anytime you have an internal candidate and then you have an external, a national search, and then you pick an internal candidate, I just wonder if there was any.
Yeah, and we have our fair share of haters to
You just got to call it what it is.
we stick with our message that we're all here to do what we can to promote safe and reliable services at an affordable rate, and that's what our team's focused on. I have no doubt that I have the full confidence of our leadership team, and they have my full confidence. Like I mentioned before, I was able to have a hand in placing some of those folks here. So as a team, we've really kind of taken the locker room approaches. Our team is we leave our garbage behind the doors of the locker room, and when we go out to play, we're all playing the same game from the same call sheet. So no, I don't have one issue or one anything I think is waiting around the corner to jump out at me internally. I think they're in full support of me. I'm full support of them. Same thing with the board. I'm trying to communicate a lot with the board, just let them know what we're doing, how we're doing it, who's doing what we're winning, what we're losing. Sometimes it's not good, but we have to acknowledge that, because bad news doesn't get better with age, right? So we just take it on. We be transparent about it. We communicate often and open. And I think our team today, our leadership team, probably has more open conversation than, I don't know, Gabi's been here a while. We have more open conversation now about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and it's productive. It's not a fight. It's not get out of my silo. It's how do we help each other fix it? So it is. Rose used the right word. It's exciting, because I don't know how many times I've walked in, me personally, and I'll say something to Amber about, hey, I got this problem. No, we don't. We have an opportunity. And so I think the whole atmosphere is shifting. So, and the public, we play a part in that too. If some of those folks are upset with us, generally, maybe we're not doing a good job of communicating something. Maybe we're not doing a good job of educating people about what we have out there and available, or what other agencies have out there and available that we can assist them with. So that's a huge goal of mine personally, and again, it's something that the board has challenged me with, is how do we get this communication to be more frequent, regular, proactive, positive, not just reactive to the negative. So I think that's going to pay big dividends for us too, the more we keep dripping on that stone.
I know the communication has been really good. It's just like with the Texas, before I even know it, they're like, oh, this might be an outage in your area. So it just really makes you feel good to know that they're on top of things, and, so when I see that coming across, I'm like, wow, that's good. And then it's being followed up on Nextdoor or on the Ring app, so people are starting to share it more and kind of be more, just be more community. Yeah.
That's it.
So it's just really watching out for each other. Are you hearing this? Are you experiencing this? But it's not like a mean, snappy snap. It's just more of an awareness, And they're like, yeah, BP's on it. Call this number if you have it. So I'm kind of seeing more of that kind of connectiveness, which is good, which wasn't there as much, I don't think, before.
No.
So something is happening.
We are trying. We are pushing out photos, information, because we gotta make that human connection. That's, Amber's big on that is, you know, if we have a service disruption and we can get out there and tell our story and people connect with that, they see the people working, they see, okay, that, you know, it's, man, that sucks, it's raining, or it's 2 degrees, they're out there fixing it, and make that human connection that we're not just this big machine, you know, we're people here that live in this community, we're trying to serve the community, so.
Definitely.
Well, I wondered if you were gonna direct anything to the board, whether or not we've got,
Well, since you're here,
I'll go ahead
and go ahead and, well, I just know how it works, and like I said, I've been a part of some national searches, and people get ugly sometimes.
No, that's right, and, you know, yeah, I will speak I can only speak for my own experience, and yes, we've gotten, I personally have received negative feedback on the decision that the board made, and, to anyone who will listen, I will give the same message I've given tonight, and that is, I mean, we had 4 good candidates, and we had 1 great candidate.
Right.
And, you know, let the chips fall where they may, I'm glad to know, as somebody who, I am an original dot, right?
There for the interview too.
This is a guy who was homegrown here. And, you know, I know we've seen that before, BT. I mean, I know we've seen it before. I know people are like, oh, great, it's the same old thing again. This is the same old thing. And I can tell you that I left the boardroom at our last meeting, in early February, and, the feeling in that room was different. And a lot of it has to do with, and Jeremy's already spoken to this, some of the new faces we have here. And some of the new empowerment we're giving to longer tenured employees that they haven't had before. And some of it's how we communicate things. Some of it's being proactive. This is now, I'm entering my 6th year on the board, I guess.
Wow.
I didn't realize it.
I know, it's like,
He's like, yes.
this was just like, you know, a couple years ago.
And I will tell you that, you know, when Jeremy talks about being proactive about communication to the board, it's something I've never seen. I've never seen what we're seeing right now. And I'm personally overjoyed by it because we get hit up all the time out in the community, you know, about a specific topic that we may not have any idea, previously we may not have known about. Now we know everything, I'm not saying in advance, but certainly in real time. And that's helpful, because if there's a problem out there, every single board member I know is willing to come, you know, to the aid of a customer who needs this, you know, assistance, you know, walking through customer care, and, you know, maybe they haven't found the right person, whatever the issue is, right? And I know that these folks are hard at work. I know it doesn't always seem like that, but I know that they are because I deal with it, you know, all the time. And so, you know, haters gonna hate, right? Hate. That was what first.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen, and all we can do is control what we can control, and that is, as Jeremy said, you know, for this utility to be the best it could be, providing safe, reliable, you know, utilities at an affordable rate. That's what we can do. And how we communicate that information into the community is really, really important. And we've got some people, I think, in executive positions at BPU at this point in time who are really, really proficient with it. And, you know, they're not just telling a story, they're telling our story. And as community members, I mean, it makes me proud, so.
I think from a leadership perspective, I am gonna leave after Gabby's presentation, but, just kind of looking into me and how I do things, I don't want to sit here and steer some things. I have these great people that we empower to do this work, and so I'm excited to hear Gabby's presentation. That's what I want to see what that's all about and how you receive that, but then I'm going to get out of the way because we have capable people. We just need to let them do what they do. I don't need to sit and drive everything, and I really believe that, and it's how we do things on our floor now. So I'm not being rude. We got a great team. We got to let them do what they do. And if I'm always sitting around over them, maybe they won't do what they do. But we've hired them for a reason, and they're fully capable, and so we're trying to make that shift and push down more personal responsibility, accountability to people, and they're responding well to it. They want to work. There's no sense in hiring smart people and telling them what to do, so.
Jeremy would have been the last person that I would have considered to be, because he was an insider, because he was from here, he's from, and so, but when I got to know Jeremy, I really got a chance to see him in action, to see him socialize, see him interact with others, to see how well he was respected and thought of by others. Also, the interview blew me away. Wasn't expecting what I got from him, that interview. He just blew me away, and so hands down, he was the best qualified for the job, and so we really appreciate the fact that he stuck it out, was willing to remain here, and be a part of our new step forward. So, we're very proud to have chosen him. And yes, I did speak with a lot of the vocal naysayers, and I had to defend our choice and had to share with each of them, this is why we chose him. And they couldn't. One was still kind of, but the others that I spoke with, they said, well, I guess you guys make the best choice. And I said, listen, the board chose. I said, and when we make decisions, he's going to be what we feel is going to be best for Wyandotte County. I said, if he's not, we can still choose again. I mean, he's not set in stone, but he's the best candidate so far. So we have to, and they have to accept the fact that we did a nationwide search. We did our due diligence, and we looked at each candidate, and when it came down to choosing the best one, Jeremy was the one. And so we're very proud of that decision, and we're very, very glad that he was willing to stick it out and stay in the process and remain a part of BPU. So, because he could have gone other places as well. So we know that, and we're just glad that he stayed with us.
I'm glad. I know I couldn't be a part of it because I didn't want to be a part of one and not see the whole thing, and I had conflict, so I couldn't see any of the interviews or whatever. But I'm just glad that he, like Jeremy's not in the room, but I'm just glad that he did elevate, because I have been on national searches and statewide organizations on the board, and then the internal candidate just did not do that. They did not bring it. It was not the best, and I felt like that person out of everyone had the insider information, and if you can't elevate with all of that information.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons I kind of asked, and that was just so fresh in my mind because I just went through that for a statewide organization, and it was, and like you said, and then you bring people together, but you still have to go with what's the best candidate, and we did not go. We had to go 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
We did have to go 2 rounds because we did not have that, and we did hire and paid a lot of money to this search firm for it, but we paid more money because we wanted the best.
I told those who I spoke with, I said, trust me, I said, if he's not the best candidate, I will not be a part of BPU any longer. Vote me out. I said, because I believe that we've done, I said, and you will see it, I said, within 2 years, you will see that he was the best candidate.
Yeah, good.
All right. That went longer than I expected. Sorry. No, it's all good. All good. Without further ado, please introduce yourself. I know you're so excited to be here tonight. Fancy warning we've got up there.
I know.
Where the warning? Oh, yeah.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Gabriella Freeman. I'm the Supervisor of Customer Service. I'm here today to go over our My Meter. It's a self-service tool for our customers that they can utilize, monitor their usage, and do some self-service things like sign up for equal payment. They can also update their mailing address. They can monitor their billing payments on there. But before we log in, I just wanted to show you a couple of options that we have if the customer doesn't want to log in and create an account. So if they just wanted to make a one-time payment, our customers, we are directing them to go to mymeter.bpu.com. And if they just want to make a payment on their account, they can select the option to pay their bill now. And you ever logged into My Meter?
All the
Okay, good. So if you have not, you would have to register your account. And when a customer registers their account, their registration code, if they're a residential customer, is gonna be their date of birth. If they're a commercial or industrial customer, it's gonna be their phone number. This is a very important part. You do have to enter your name exactly as it appears on your bill. So if your last name is hyphenated, or if you have two last names, or you have a junior or senior, exactly how it appears on your billing statement is how you want to enter it here to register your account. So enter the account number, the email you want to use, which thus will actually be your login, will be your email, your password, and it has to be 8 characters, and it has to have at least upper, lower, or a special character. So just two of the following. So you have just like 4 upper and 4 lowercase letters in the password. You re-enter your password, you select your security question, and then you select the option if you want your bill emailed to you or sent to you via USNet to register your account. So I'm going to go ahead and log into an account.
Everybody, Rob!
It's the winter storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Thank you.
All right.
am, but I have an admin account, so I could see if I could.
Might override it.
She's trying to try to reload it now, so just let me. Okay. Yeah, I can't read it either. Control R to reload the page.
He's got all the tricks.
Write that down.
Control R. You got all, I know, let me write that down. What is that? What was that? Control R. I know. You love being around IT people. They got all the secrets. List of all those things. You're not to miss it. Well, while we're waiting for that, can I ask a quick question then, so that way I don't have to wait till the end?
Go on.
So I was at a meeting on Friday, and they said that LEAP was gonna be extended, and that it's gonna be, and I guess Evergy's gonna have a part in Kansas, and it's gonna be more, hopefully more funding, and
When you say extended, who,
like, 'cause you know how LEAP is only for that little pocket of time, and then.
are you aware of the executive order that was issued?
Right, that's what they were saying, so did it, I mean, so you're saying what? Exactly.
I
haven't heard of an extension. No, I'm looking right now.
They haven't said anything.
It goes, ends March 31st.
Right.
just a normal time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there really is no guarantee of funding at the current moment, right?
Yeah,
No.
I drink coffee all the time. Mac, we wanna use
Isn't that already set up from the previous year?
I've got back here pulled up, you
I mean,
back there.
Is it what, I'm sorry?
I was just saying the funding for that cycle, isn't it already in the budget?
It's in the 2024 budget. So this cycle's a little different in how it's working at the State House for the first time ever. The governing bodies are proposing, so the budget has the governor has her budget, and now the House and Senate are doing the budget as well. But on top of some other, there was, she could speak to this as well. There are some COVID money that was running the state, not running the state, but helping the state, so there was a surplus there, and right now they're trying to figure out ways to cut the budget so we don't end up in a deficit. So some of these funding programs, like, I think one of them's, there's a building program for Kansas, state of Kansas, that looks like it's gonna be cut, that's economic development funds. So there's a pause on a lot of extracurricular spending in terms of funding, because a lot of that comes from, first of all, they don't know what's gonna happen at a federal level, there's too much uncertainty there, and it's further complicated by, Kansas trying to reduce their budget and the way that they're doing it.
So the LEAP funding right now is from the 2024
Yes.
budget, yeah. And so we don't know what'll happen for next year, obviously, but I haven't heard of any kind of extension or additional funds at this time.
Yeah.
They've done that in the past, but we haven't gotten word on that at that point. So, since those are federal dollars that are allocated to,
If I were a betting woman,
yeah,
Yeah,
I wouldn't hold your breath.
oh,
the House debates their budget tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And you're right, the governor's budget, they're pretty much ignoring the governor's recommendation. They created their own budget, and they're looking to cut quite a bit. They've also, put in an order that any,
didn't they just raise their salaries?
they did.
Yes.
All right.
Any
Second.
positions that have been vacant, that for 180 days, they want those cut.
How about probationary employees, are we cutting them?
Well,
Well, any positions that have been unfilled for 180 days, they're gonna cut the salaries for,
Mm-hmm.
because they still wanna cut taxes a lot, right? So, and they're still looking at being underwater in 2 more years by like $700 million.
yes.
So excited when that doesn't really
So
happen.
they're gonna be cutting a lot of stuff. I'll stop there.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, we're back.
Abby, we're ready.
Great question.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
got logged in, so when you initially log in, it'll take you to the dashboard page.
Mm-hmm.
And on this page, you'll be able to view your account, the name on the account, service address. There's, widgets up here that you can customize, so I just have it set to my balance and start transfer. You can, click on the settings button and then adjust it to whatever widget you have. And when you log in again, it'll automatically update to what you last time saved at. So, you don't have to click save or anything. The first thing we'll go over is the charts. So on the charts page, you'll be able to look at the services we have, so electric, water, and unmetered is gonna be, like if you had trash, sewer, or stormwater, and the billing just shows your charges for each month. So I'm gonna go ahead and select the electric service, and you can look at it in dollars or consumption. I normally look in dollars, because I think that's what our customers are able to relate to easier. So if you do that, you can pick if you wanna do it over a year period or 2-year period. So this is just gonna be for February here, and it's gonna say that it's for, the days of the month, so it's from, this is my billing period, it's January 1st to February 5th, so it's a total of 34 days, and I average $4.73 a day for electricity, and then it'll give you the temperature, that's the average for, yes, so that'll be the high, the lowest, and then, the low, and then the high, and then the average. So that information's available there, and then, if you, when I was sitting upstairs, it broke it down for me.
In August, how much was it per day in August?
In August,
I believe if you double click on one of those. Yeah,
my August per day,
Yeah, about like
for
mine.
this electric was 1488.
yeah, mine was 1350. Summer temperature.
Yeah, so you can adjust the frequency with the sliders at the bottom of the view.
Permits, yeah.
That there is. Filtering.
Yeah.
But if you double click on it, you put bar chart.
So then, once you look at your electric usage, this is another utility that I like on this page called the markers. So say, for example, you've done an energy upgrade to your home, installed LED lighting, for example, you fitted new windows, or you got an Energy Star appliance, you can, log this information here. So for example, I can do an energy upgrade, I'll say it's out with my electric. You can put the day it started and then enter the time and how long you want to you wanna check your usage on it for a year or 2 years. And then you can put the description here, so you can put that you installed new windows, and then you can really see if it helps you with the savings over time. You compare this usage to your usage previous, to just make sure it made a difference. And then that's something that we're monitoring. So we can set up over 300 markers, is that correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Yes. So you can, log quite a bit of information on here, and then just go back and check it, and, so that'll allow you to do that and control that, to make sure that if you're making an investment on a product, that it is making your bill.
So the reason you can't double click this is because you're on billing, the billing doesn't change a month.
Okay.
So it's either something that you hourly or that, or daily.
So if you do daily, the electric will show more because it breaks it down into 15-minute intervals. So then here, I'll just go ahead and bump it down to 2 weeks, because right now it's 2 years. So that'll clean it up a little bit more. And, then like Rob said, so this will just bring me up my daily information for this day. So this is 1 day, and this was for the 13th of February.
So it's capturing real-time usage.
Yes. So like, for example, yesterday it was really cold. So you can tell my usage is a lot higher compared to last, the week before, we had some warmer temperatures. But it's 37 degrees, only $1.41, and then yesterday this is 6 degrees, 13 degrees, I used, $2, over $2. So you can see the difference there in your usage. So that will show customers how temperature really does impact, because we'll get that feedback from customers. If they had their thermostat set at the same temperature, they're not moving it, well, just the outside temperature is gonna make an impact on how your air conditioner or your heater kicks on, during the winter and summer months. So then the next page, and then one other thing I wanted to touch on here, if customers fill this out, this would be helpful to, customer service when we're just looking at information. So this will collect data from customers. You do have to go in and enter it, but you can put, how many floors in the house, the number of restrooms, the number of residents, the number of bedrooms, the type of structure you have, if it's brick or if it's, stucco, type of heating and AC that you have, what you keep your temperature or your thermostat set at, and all that will help impact your usage. So if a customer's calling us, why is my bill higher, is there anything I can do? If they have this page filled out, we can definitely go on here and make some recommendations, as long as they are forthcoming with their information, just to help them save on their electricity. And then this gives us data also, that we can gather to give feedback back to customers. And based on this information, it does say it'll give you, better alerts and comparisons, in regards to your property if you fill out your profile information. So then the next page we're gonna look at, does anybody have any questions?
Gabby, do we track, like, how many customers use this? Do we know that?
Yes, so if we go to our admin login, and we can, select it from the day it started, so this went live April 29th of 2024, so we're coming up on a year that it's gone live. We can go back to that day to see how many customers have logged in, or, if we just wanna check certain months or certain weeks, we can see if the, logins have increased or decreased.
Okay.
So what would be the average or the percentage of people that use this?
I think I did check this morning, and I think we had 27,000, so, not even half of our customers.
28,900.
Okay.
And we have like 15.
So then the next screen we're gonna look at is the alerts. So customers can come in here and set up alerts on their account. They can set up, billing information, so they can get an alert if their bills didn't come out, if they
By mistake. Was it her that was muted too?
Give me a better.
Oh, my bad. Thought it was only these flat ones.
Thanks for, letting us know that. Your audio should be restored.
So you select the electric usage, I'll do that one, you can select if you want to be notified when it's over, under, you see, once you select it, it's on consumption right now, so it's gonna show me what my averages are daily right now, and then per week and per month. You can also do that with a dollar amount, so it'll tell me what I'm averaging per day, per week, and per month. So when I go ahead and set up this notification, I can set it up, I wanna know when I'm over, so since I'm using 890 kilowatts right now, I'll just ask it to notify me if I go over 900. And I can say it, I want to know in a billing period, and then I don't have anything added here, so you can select if you want to do an email, if you want to receive a text, or it'll do a push notification to your email app, or, push notification, from your phone.
To your app.
To your app, sorry, to your app, yes, and this app is available only on Apple right now, not on Android. So if you do it to your email address, you'll just add your email, and then select plus.
Misspelled the address.
I sure did.
Ooh, really close.
And then you'll, add plus, and then you'll see that's where I'm gonna receive this notice at. I save the changes. And then when I go back in, that information's there, so I know it's already. If I ever wanted to delete it, it's just as simple as clicking on the pencil, and I can delete it, or I can make changes to it once I have it set up. So then on the next screen, it's gonna be, view pay bill. So on this screen, there's, several things you can do. You can set up paperless billing, so you can select your bill delivery option here or here. You can set up automatic payments, or you can click here also the same thing, enroll in auto pay. So if you select auto pay, you have the option to set it up via credit card or checking account. And if I have more than one account, it would list all my accounts and I can check mark them. And then, once I set it up, it would do it for all those that I check mark. So you can do, credit card, you can Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express. So like I said, you can do your bank account.
Gabi, will that still do auto pay on credit cards? I know a lot of times it's just with debit only.
Yes.
It'll do it with a credit. That's awesome.
Yes. And then your wallet payment, so you can also add a wallet payment to your account. And you see we have multiple options for, wallet payments, so customers can do credit card, bank account, PayPal account, PayPal credit, or Amazon Pay. So, once you add this payment here, so once if you add a payment to your wallet, that doesn't mean that you're setting up automatic payments, you're just storing all your payment methods. So then once you go in and add payment methods, say you wanted to pay your bill, any saved payment method would be here in the drop-down for you to select to make the payment on your account. If you have several accounts, you would total all of them up here at the bottom so you know how you're paying, and you click pay that amount, and then it will pay on all those accounts. And then under utility service request, if a customer wanted to sign up for the equalized payment plan, they would be able to do so from this page. If they wanted to cancel it, if they were enrolled, they can unenroll from the plan, and they could also do it here from this page under utility service. And on this page, customers can also see their billing information, they can see any payments that have been made on the account, and the information does go back to, it'll be the March billing since we started in April. Does anybody have any questions on this?
While you on there, can you, pay mine?
So actually, I could do that, I'll talk about that next, so go ahead.
So since this data only goes back to the time at which my meter came into existence, where's the historical data?
We have all the historical bills saved out in OnBase from the before days. And the old system used to serve 18 months of bills, is that right? And I believe that my meter is set up to go to 18 months and start truncating, but we'll verify that in another session.
Okay, thanks.
So if a customer wanted to bill for use this, they would have to contact us. Okay.
Gabi, my question, when our conversation started with, I'd like you to do this presentation, how can I move certain customers to this? The customer we were discussing and helping,
So, Amber, I believe, is gonna share a link with all of you, and it's a video for my meter. So I would definitely share the link with them.
okay,
And
that's
the video tells them how to enroll, how to register, and then once they're registered, it'll go through all the information.
right.
on
It was
all.
the video that we discussed as well.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. So I think that'll be very helpful, And it's not something to read, it's something to watch, you can pause it if you need to go in and follow that part of the video. And then I know we can even, if they want a specific part of the video, we can even send them that.
Okay, that's what, the video is what we discussed, and I forgot about it.
So then on the last page is gonna be the user profile. And this page is gonna have your login information, so for some reason I ever wanted to change my login where it's not my Yahoo email address, I would use a different one, I would do that here. I can update my phone number here, I can update my password, my secret question, and then it'll also show you, when you registered the account and all your activity on there. And then this is the part I like, for example, my parents are elderly, so if I ever needed to help them with their account or look at their account, this will allow you to connect accounts to your BPU account. So you would have to have the person's name again exactly as it appears on their bill, their registration code, which is going to be their date of birth, and then their account number. So then once I link their account to my account, they would get a notice to let them know that their account's been linked with me. And then, I'll be able to view their bill and make payments for them if I had to, and monitor their usage, and just make sure that their account's good. So that'll help.
So ostensibly, she could pay your bill if you have your account number.
Give it to her.
On YouTube, and I see this, understanding my BPU bill, is that a good, reference for people who want to learn more about their bill?
Yeah.
I would hesitate using the YouTube link, and I would direct them to the BPU.com.
Please,
Very good.
Link
Yep.
might be updated.
please, yes, everything that's up to date will be on our website.
So that's the information on that page, and there was just one thing I forgot to add. That's on UK bill. If a customer needed to update their mailing address or their phone number with this, when I say mobile number, but they can also do the mobile number from this page or their mailing address. So if they're not in paperless billing and they want to update their mailing address, they can do that from here also. So, My Meter is a good tool for customers that don't want to call in, that want to manage their account for themselves online and then track their usage and, anything really that they need to do. They can even ask, questions from here on My Meter, and then we'll get those and we'll respond to the customers. Anybody have any other questions? Let's see that.
Yeah, there's a lot of information there. And do we have any indication of how the customers are actually using it? For example, are they going in and just setting up so they can see the charts and their usage? Or are they setting, the ceilings and trying, do we have any way of knowing how they're using them instead of just that they are using them?
I can give you some metrics from the past week. So in the past week, we've had 1,150 logins. Of those, 1,073 and 83 were via the mobile app. And in that same time period, sent out 1,246 alert messages that people had requested and signed up for. 33 of those were driven by Freshman. So.
Driven by what?
Same amount of alerts going out as we have users logging in. I can't really tell more than that without diving into their individual accounts. We've had 13 additional accounts add autopay this past week. We had 16 switch to e-billing from paper bills, and we had one account remove itself. So a net of 15 up on e-billing, 13 up on autopay.
And if a customer has an issue, using My Meter or they have questions on it, so customer service does have the ability, what they call to impersonate the account. So we're able to log in and view the customer's account with them. We're not shadowing them, so we can't see what they're clicking. But everything that I can see, right now, like in my personal account, we can see also. So if a customer has any issues, they can definitely give us a call and then we can walk them through that process of what they need to do.
So when you said that 28K, and remind me again, like how many accounts?
20,962 are current active users. Our total number of accounts are 101,974. So right now, about 22% of our users. Now, FlexPay have their own app. So if they are a FlexPay or a prepay customer, they will use the Acceleron FlexPay app and will not use the My Meter app. If we wanted to get the total number of our customer base that are using a portal, we should combine the user accounts from both.
We normally have about 1,300 on average.
Yeah, so we're sitting right at
On
about
flex pay?
30,000 customers, I guess, for one of the, so about a third. Which is about where CSS, our old quarter, was running when we shut it down. We had 36,000 users month.
Any more questions on that?
But
Can
still,
I-
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Like the flex customers, but it's still my meter though, right? Like,
No,
you don't go
FlexPay
through
has
it?
its own
Different.
app, And
Different.
My Meter has, My Meter is for all the post-pay customers,
Right,
and FlexPay is for all prepay customers. And you can't be signed up for both apps simultaneously.
right. Because I know when I go on, because I have the flex account, and so, but it still says my meter. So I guess that's why and I just go to the website. I don't have the app itself. I just go through the website and go through, and it says my meter on it.
I was gonna say, the FlexPay website's my usage.
Yeah, one's my usage, the other one's my meter. Shouldn't be able to see a FlexPay account and be on the My Meter app.
Gabby, do people start with flex pay ever and then move?
We do have some, yes, and I was saying, then we do have customers that are on FlexPay, and when they move, they'll stay on FlexPay.
Okay.
Yes. So we do have some, if they have a higher deposit, or some just come from another part of the United States where they're used to prepay and they liked it there, so they'll sign up for it here also.
Well, I know the no deposit sometimes might.
Yeah, the driver.
I just wondered if, once you've been on flex pay for a while, if you go back to the regular.
We do have some customers that do, but we've had, several customers that have been on it since, program started, and they like it. Easier for them to manage their bill and make their payments.
Any other questions on that?
I will say, I have basic technology skills, and I found it really easy to use.
Oh, good.
I mean, it's very,
Good to hear.
yeah, it's very,
Good to
very
hear.
easy to use, I thought. And I will occasionally go dig into some of the deeper stats and stuff, but the big reason I went to it was A, because I'm on this committee, but also because I used to just write a check and mail it, and I mailed it June 23rd, and y'all shut my power off in September because that check still has never surfaced anywhere. So we're now, what?
Is that on BPU or is that on the USPS?
Well, that's not on BPU, but I'm saying that that's why I went to this, and I do the auto, just like that, I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, according
But-
to Kansas Drives, I don't pay my tolls either, but the check just never got there.
Yeah.
Number one complaint that we have on My Meter right now is actually the document upload feature. And Abby had, you're on My Meter. so you
Oh,
have
for
to go to
starting
FlexPay
service.
account.
That's it, yeah, for starting service.
But what's the difference in that, like, when you pay?
FlexPay is a prepaid account, so you have to keep the balance above zero, and it drops every single day.
Okay.
You start getting over it, you get down to $50, and you use that basically like the tank of gas in your car.
Mhm.
If you ever reach zero, then you automatically.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have that. But yeah.
But
Well, I do the,
the issue
you know,
with
the
the
set
document,
pay though.
Abby
Set pay,
come up
yes.
with 13,
Yeah.
idea for us to do an ID verify and remove the document upload option. So we're currently in the investigation period of that solution. And we're hoping that it's something that we can bring, to bear this year to help relieve one of the major complaints that we are getting.
Making it easier to start service and do business with us from the beginning.
But the
Because-
My Meter portal is leaps and bounds better than the CSS portal we had.
Yeah.
For you, it works.
You know it does.
It did not.
We all know that I had to go on auto pay because the late fees were getting me. Can't remember to pay my BPU bill.
I used to get collection notices when I forgot to pay my water bill at the city of Corpus Christi, and I was so excited because I wrote the collection notice. I'm like, look, I wrote that.
Didn't mean to get it, but also I wrote it.
Auto pay helps us all.
It does help.
No, it does. It does.
It does have the feature where you can have the reminders,
Yes,
which are,
yeah, the
which are nice.
reminders are very
Wonderful.
helpful.
apparently there's a
I'm
lot
not looking
I
at
need to
you.
set on my,
I'm not-
but I don't have to set it anymore. I set it and forget it. Set it and forget it. Went through that whole thing of revising the customer service policies and through that process, I couldn't do it anymore. The shame I had every time I'd come in, I'd be like,
I just love the fact that it has that option, so you can, you know what I mean, so you will
Yeah.
not be late.
no, that's right.
I just paid it first of the month, I don't know when it's, I think I'm due on the 10th, but I just pay it right on the 1st or right before the 1st, I just pay it. So I don't have auto pay, but
Text
I
message that says it
but I'm
got paid.
disciplined.
That's, yeah, great. That's, are you, is everybody on e-bill?
Oh, yeah.
Saves us $6.50 every year.
Oh, I'm
No, I did get rid of,
gotta have both.
I got the paperless, I know I did
I
click the
gotta have
paperless.
both.
Why?
You're costing us money.
I know.
Me too. I'm
Makes me
sorry.
feel, makes me feel.
But you're right, though, we gotta get rid of that, come on, we gotta get rid of that paper.
That's right. You want me to manage your,
Oh, no, trust me, it'll, in about a couple of weeks, I'm gonna change a whole bunch of stuff.
all right. I can't,
And they take clock by that, my bills, that's fine, that'd be great, just saying.
I shouldn't ask, does anybody online have any questions or comments about the presentation?
This is Mike Castro. I am very, very grateful to be able to access on Zoom, and I thought the presentation went very, very well.
Well, thanks, Mike. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Gabby, for showing us.
Bet, sorry we called you off a President's Day holiday today.
That's okay. It was a great presentation and my question was answered. My question was also about having an additional account because sometimes I pay my mom's account and I know my mom is like 80 years old and she's not gonna get on there herself and set up her own account. So I think I'm able to do that for her, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, again, thank you very much for the presentation. I know you can do this in your sleep, 'cause you've done it a couple times, but, really, really appreciate you pulling it together. Appreciate you indulging us, allowing Gabby to be here tonight, so appreciate that. I know we're just a smidge behind time, but, one of the things I want to talk about, were topics for the rest of the meetings for this year. And we do have one picked out. I have one picked out. And I have asked, Jeremy referenced, our new, Chief Compliance Officer. Is that what Lee's?
Yeah, Lee.
Our new Chief Compliance Officer, that came to BPU mid last year, thereabouts, Lee Mulholland.
About a month.
So I have asked her to come and give a brief presentation on, sort of the regulatory construct that BPU is under. Because folks think that, you know, we're a muni, therefore it's the Wild West, and we don't have to follow any rules, don't have to do anything, right? And that's certainly not the case. And, I want her to come and just share with you all some of the construct within which, you know, a utility company lives within, you know, be it EPA regulations or other, just to provide, safe, reliable, water and power to this community at an affordable rate. And when you're talking about rates, you do have to factor in, it's not the Wild West. We do have, regulatory commitments that the company has to meet. And, I know that Lee and her team are just doing a phenomenal job, you know, picking up where I think Maurice left off and has taken that, you know, forward from there. So I know she's gonna come and do that at one of the meetings, possibly in May. But I just sort of wanted to open up because we've talked about a lot of different things in these meetings. And I mean, we've talked about tree trimming, right? And we've talked about the importance of vegetation management that BPU does on behalf of, you know, the community. And, you know, we still have people call in or email in and complain about lines on trees on lines and things like that, and you know, doesn't understand how or why BPU didn't go do that thing at that particular point in time, right? And again, I mean, BPU has to be reactive in those cases, but you guys know that there's actually a set schedule that BPU uses to actually go and do all the vegetation management over the course of you know, a couple of years. Pole replacements, I don't even know if we've talked about that in here, but that's something BPU proactively does as well. You know, just, you know, so, and we've had the water folks come in and talk about some of that. So I just want to know from your guys' perspective, are there specific topics you guys want to talk about in these? I mean, we have, you know, the BPU team is ready, willing, and able to come in and talk to this group about anything that you guys would want to hear. Don't everyone speak at once. Come on. And you know what? If you don't know tonight, that's perfectly fine. I believe everybody knows how to reach me by email. Feel free to just shoot me an email. And, yes, sir.
I was gonna ask, have you guys, does the engagement, committee go through an orientation? Did you guys go through an orientation to be on this committee?
Like the board goes through an orientation?
Yeah.
No.
So they've never been to on a tour of any of our facilities?
Not to my knowledge. Well, I mean, if you're a former employee, you might have.
Yeah, I think that would be.
Is that something y'all would be interested in? I mean, good call, Stevie.
To me, the Nearman plant, when people go to a Nearman water plant, they are amazed at that plant because, number one, you don't expect it to, I mean, it is super clean everywhere you walk around. And you don't think, when you hear the term plant, you're not expecting that.
Well, it's super high tech.
It is.
I mean,
it's just,
You know,
I've
imagine how clean water actually.
I've been with a lot of people that have gone through there that are pretty amazed at that. And it used to be, when I first came on this board a long time ago, it was new, really new. And it hasn't seemed to age to me. Every time I go there, it still seems like that new water plant. So that would be a place,
that
if
something
you
you
guys
would
have
be
never gone there, I would love to take you there.
Yes.
There's a large enough conference room down there that you can host your meeting.
Yeah.
Do a tour in.
Oh, that would be fast.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That way you weren't.
Then we're already there.
Traverse over.
Yeah, that would be.
Probably a little bit longer meeting that night.
No.
So just because there's gonna be a lot of really smart people that are not me, that will tell you guys all about all of the chemical stuff that they do to make sure our water's all clean. That doesn't look clean, but that's my fault, so.
Can you go into the lab too, or no?
And you can go about anywhere in
You're really
the water
pushing it.
plant. Weather
I
permitting.
wanna see it all.
There's one area where you can go, but it's where we keep the chlorine cylinders.
Okay.
But outside of that, pretty much everything accessible, as long as it's not freezing cold or rain.
Right.
Out to the basin, what's going on there. You might keep that in mind if you wanna schedule something.
Yeah, when it's warmer, maybe.
Schedule it, understand.
Especially when it's longer night out.
Longer
Summer,
daytime.
fall, yeah, daylight.
Light, daylight.
Yeah.
More light.
Oh,
The technology is set up and ready for it.
Yay.
I like to do it at the last minute if at all possible.
Do it on a hot spot, so,
No, you can.
you know, if you did it during the summer when the days were long enough, you could probably get both by it.
That'd be interesting.
So now you're talking a half a day thing is what you're saying.
it's something that I would recommend to any,
I think that's great.
Yeah.
citizen,
Yeah.
It'd be nice to.
especially when you're on this committee. It's so eye-opening.
Well, and you guys, you know, just based on your guys' interest in being ambassadors, I mean, you guys have expressed already, that from my perspective, a greater interest in how this utility works for this community. And to see some of the things that we as board members, say as BPU team members get to see, you know, you see utility in a whole different light. then you see it as, you know, just a customer who wants to complain because our rates are too high, or people are getting paid too much, because those are the two things we hear.
Yeah, I think it helps too that a lot of us are, you know, like, we are on My Meter, we are on Level Pay, I guess is what I'm on. And, you know, and I know about the poll situation, that little brass plate, make sure you give that number, and I've had trees, them come out, so it's kind of nice that we've had some of those experiences in real time, so that if we had to share that experience, so I tell everybody, get that brass number off that pole when you call in. I learned that the hard way. So, you know, but that
Also, make sure we have your updated phone number.
yeah, and yep.
Can't text you if we don't.
Well, I get all the alerts, so I'm good. See, I'm all about that. I want to know when the power is out there. I just didn't even thought about being out in my area, so they can have my number.
Well, and one of the things that Jeremy touched on this earlier, that you know, that the team is talking about now, it's like, look, it's the good, bad, the ugly, right? Either the good, bad, that's a lot. Bad and ugly, are they the same thing, or, I don't know. But,
Might be a little bit.
you know, so the recent, Boyle advisory that we had,
Yeah.
welcome, I used the right words.
Who was that?
Good.
Yeah, 18th Street.
It was in a very
Conference.
confined area of the city, and we had some challenges with communication with some of the folks in that area, and you know, but the team acknowledged that, and you know, on the front end of it, and the state actually has a specific way as to how they want that information to go out into the community. It's very difficult, I know, for us without a local newspaper, we all know that, right? But, you know, obviously Amber, you know, and the team worked with, you know, all of the local news stations and got the information out there. But, you know, there were still things that fell through the cracks on communication with individual customers. And some of it is we don't have updated information, and some of it was, you know, we had to work on a process on this side of things. But the thing is, and what I really appreciated about the whole process is that, you know, these guys didn't hide from that. They're like, yeah, no, this, we recognized we had a challenge here, and so we immediately went to work, you know, at that time to start working on a better process for the next time. Hopefully it never happens again, right? But God forbid it does, we're gonna have a process that meets the moment. So
I think those two things are good, because we only have 3 meetings remaining this year, correct?
that's right. Oh, the thing is we have our meeting set, we meet quarterly, we can meet as often as we want to. And so if we even want to move, you know, because it works out better, maybe a Monday doesn't work well for everybody, that we want to move, you know, sort of, the on-premise, visit over to the water treatment plant, you know, to a different time, date, whatever. I mean, obviously we've got to work with everybody's calendars, but we know it's got to be in, you know, when weather's better, days are longer, we've got more daylight. That may be something we may want to consider.
What's a longhorn, you know?
Maybe one thing you can add on there too, because I know I've been online, but I've never been in person to a board meeting. I've never done that. I've done it online, but I've never been.
Wednesday night, come join us.
Right, but well, you may not even be here Wednesday night if the weather does what it do.
I feel like
Yeah.
there's gonna be a
Wednesday
truck that's
should
gonna
be
come
fine.
get me or something.
Wednesday should be fine.
They'll make sure I'm here.
If they can play soccer, we can have a meeting.
Yeah.
Hey, before I came here, I was on a call with the emergency manager, and so we canceled our meeting, our regular monthly meeting for Tuesday night. So Wednesday may be a little sketchy, but by Wednesday evening, you may be fine.
What time Wednesday?
She's saying what time Wednesday, but yeah, but you definitely can do it online, but I've never done it in person, but I've definitely done it online. What time Wednesday?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. is the regular meeting.
First and third Wednesday.
And the only other thing I had was, I know it's tax season, and most of you guys know I volunteer for the Free Vita site, so, and I know, a lot of people are going through the Department of Aging and the UG, and so are you guys seeing more people getting, the seniors at least getting help with some of their, utilities? Or do you monitor that, or do you know that that's actually happening?
Yeah. Aren't we?
We know it's happening because we base our reductions on their data.
Okay,
So like, I don't know how we get the list, but
right, that's all I was just wondering.
What about
Are you talking about the utility rebate for the seniors?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So I know they're taking, when we met with the UG last week, they're taking appointments, so they are meeting customers. Customers have been calling us for their bills.
Yes.
I will say if we get that data, I haven't ever seen that, or that John Netta might have got it and just not shared it with us. But we do see alerts, so like the UG started doing the pilot rebate,
Mhm.
and I know those customers, that got the pilot rebate also got that utility rebate. So we do see quite a bit of customers that have that information on their account.
But there is a staff person that is tracking that or no? Through you guys, I know I know they're going through UG and aging, but.
So I know that, I'm trying to pull it up to give you the data, but I don't.
We just get a lot of people, they'll come to us to get the regular side done, but then they've already talked about the pilot, so I just want to be more educated on that process.
So I know that we've.
What they,
I've got the pilot rebate program set up for the 2025 roadmap.
Uh-huh.
I want to say it starts in March or April, so they have to finish
How
their
do we-
process
Right.
on the UG side. And then they send us an export of everybody who qualifies into their,
Yes,
and everybody who qualifies into their program automatically qualifies into their.
Right.
for the pilot,
So the pilot redemption.
and then, but some that are qualifying for the pilot are also for the utilities as well.
Correct.
I'm just seeing, I don't see a lot of them, but I'm seeing more at the tax site, and they'll say, because they also help them with the homestead and everything. And so, and we also do the homestead for them at the tax site, and they're like, oh, I've already gotten that done. And then they were mentioning the pilot, and then I knew about the utility part, but then they were talking about the pilot. So just wanting people that qualify for it to be utilizing it. So I'm happy to hear from that part of my life at the free tax site that they are taking advantage of it and they are receiving. But is there a way to know, Rob, like, when it's all done, like a dollar amount, like how much they've saved, like an aggregate amount?
We have to know because we've capped it.
But, yeah, oh,
I mean,
There is definitely a report that finance and customer service gets on that.
okay.
So for my project for the pilot rebate program, it does start April 1st and runs through May 16th. And then at that point, we'll have the new one, ready to that.
So maybe that fall meeting we have, we could possibly know. I just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, because they've done a really good job. I really think Aging and UG have done a good job about advertising that program. And so I just want to make sure people are, and I'm hearing it at the tax site, which is really making me feel really good. But I just know there's a lot of seniors out here that need to be taking advantage of it if they qualify.
Last year, I think we had 1,200 or 1,300 kind of altogether, so I know reserve, that is.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
we'll check. But that is nowhere near the number of people that kind of qualify.
Exactly. Makes me want to scream. Makes me want to scream.
I don't know if they cap any of the
The utilities part of it?
first 1,400, I don't know where they cap any of it. But we do get the final aggregate, here's who qualified, here's the correlated dollar amount.
I want to say that the numbers that I've heard from Monica before are between 6,000 and 8,000 is what they estimate would qualify for it.
Okay.
And the last time I knew, that number surprises me, although I'm thinking about the year before when we had the pilot reduction task force. And I want to say that it was 560 or something like that actually took advantage of it. Yeah.
That's what
Yeah, last year was
Great.
around between 12 and 13, I think.
I do feel like they have a cap on it, but
I would expect this year for it to grow too, because they've changed.
Criteria.
That 500 number was year one,
Mhm.
1,200 year two, so this year it'll probably grow. But,
I hope so.
community ambassadors, they need to report out.
Yeah, I know, and they've been, like I said, you go, like, I remember just the first time seeing it, and it was like somewhere, I mean, it was like in the health department, I think. So they're getting out, but I'm just wondering what other efforts could be made, like, are the churches oh, did I look at you?
Oh, yeah, my members
Pastor,
asked
the
me
church is talking
Yeah,
for the
about it.
information, so I go to to UG,
And print
I
it.
take a picture of it, I text
Yeah,
it to
because it's just, they had a nice little, little sheet that talked about it and everything, and I know they've shared it at Livable Neighborhoods. The other thought before I forget, sorry, I feel like I'm monopolizing the meeting, was that, so when you do go to Livable Neighborhoods, are they is also gonna be offered on Zoom, correct? And are they gonna record that?
Rob has offered to go and facilitate that. I don't know what
Because they normally share it on both mediums, in person and on Zoom. So my point was, if they could, you know, collect that information, maybe you can share that on BPU too, on your outlet.
Yeah, if they have the resource, we can give the presentation and have it be broadcast.
Or at least saved or whatever, archived on your, so you can share it.
How old are you, telecast?
Hey, we're all telling on ourselves here.
I mean, he's a child.
But, Rob's offered to go help with any of that, and, yeah, we can certainly come and.
And they got like the big smart TV that's in the room and stuff like that too. That's where, the community emergency response team, that's where we meet every month in that space where they normally meet. So it's got the big smart TV and everything, and you just put your little laptop in and you're ready to go, or USB. So it's pretty
Jeremy,
set up.
if we're gonna do that, I would actually recommend it. It would be nice if one person gives the presentation, and we'd be there to help other candidates find out.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Listen to me.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
How many visitors they normally get?
It depends. I think they've been down since the pandemic, but I think they're slowly coming up. And they will have people online and people in person. So this may be a big draw for them. So they may have a good group. But I
They
think
don't let them bring
started-
tomatoes, do they?
Do it.
They don't bring tomatoes, do they? Can't throw them out at the beach.
Well, in summer, let's say, they may be giving away some plants during the summer maybe, but it's a nice group. I mean, it's grassroots. I mean, really community-based people. It's a nice place to go when you're trying to share information to get it out to the biggest groups, because a lot of the neighborhood associations, they attend those meetings and some of the nonprofits. So it's a good opportunity. That's why I want to maximize it, because if he can get that and then share it on other outlets.
When I was still with EG, we used to get routinely 50, 60 people to those meetings.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
We're gonna try to get in with Brennan up at Community Housing Wyandotte County too, because, he helps a lot of those.
Mhm. Yeah, he does. And everything, and that's the thing, it's like, you know, hopefully like livable neighborhoods is like a one-stop shop with a lot of different groups, but then, you know, you have, I mean, all the neighborhood associations, like I'm in Douglas Sumner, so, and we meet monthly, so a lot of the groups are very active that are meeting throughout, so that would be another, like, you know, kind of a speakers bureau type thing that I would love to see, at least the ones that are interested, and like you said, having someone there that could sign people up on the spot, I think that would be just a wonderful outreach. So.
All right, absolutely phenomenal discussion tonight. Cannot thank everybody enough again for coming on the very brisk evening, that we have, with that, I mean, we'll adjourn, but, if you guys think of something else for a different topic you guys wanna discuss, we'll work on setting up, sort of a visit to Nearman, and look at some dates that might be possible, when it's warmer and lighter outside. But that's a great idea, Stevie, appreciate that. And, anything else, I mean, obviously, you always feel free to email me, and, we'll get it
I'll
facilitated.
just say, somebody put out newsletters for the EG for 18 years. This is really good. And it's beyond the scope of this, but, you know, because I do politics, so I'm really keeping an
I've heard
eye
that.
on, you're going to be electing a new mayor and commission, and so you guys are very aware of that because the relationship, and I was glad to hear you say that you've actually had meetings with them, so that's positive, but I'm sort of sitting back and just watching to see what happens with that, what kind of relationship.
I'm gonna have to run again in a couple of years. Will you be,
And I attended with Jeremy because our, officers couldn't go, and it was a positive meeting. I felt like it was very positive.
We've had Commissioner Hill over here, met with her one-on-one, talked about the thing, showed her some places, processes, let her meet some of the team, and then Tom and, Mary and I went over and we met with Mayor Garner, County Administrator, and Melissa, and
Tom, for us,
yeah.
yeah.
And And we did, we had a good
It was positive and good.
2 hours,
Mhm.
hour, between an hour and a half, 2 hours.
One thing, that just always pops into my mind, since I've been around and gotten to know Jeremy, is that I like to call him, he doesn't even know this, but I call him this behind his back. He's a great collaborator. And
Better than a lot of others.
I know, right? But that's one thing, and I really do believe that, his desire to collaborate with others, is gonna go a long way to, helping. I've seen him offer to various commissioners to this point in time, they'll maybe ask about a topic, and he'll offer, hey, we'd be happy to have you over to tour X, Y, or Z, right? And I don't know that many have taken him up on it yet, but he's constantly offering to do that thing and educate, any commissioner that wants to be educated about any specific thing within BPU. And so, just having somebody, in the seat that wants to collaborate so much is gonna go a long way, I think, to the relationship between UG and BPU.
And I would love to see someone from BPU involved with the CHIP and everything. I'm with the housing, the unhoused portion of it, and they meet different times. I know you can't be at everything, but I think when you're working in a system and you're talking about housing and everything, I think utilities and housing goes hand in hand. So I would love to see someone from BPU involved in that process as well, so they can navigate and share those and, dispel those myths or fears or what's happening. And like I said, in that group, and we normally meet, if it's not online, we meet right at the Hilton Gardens Inn.
Tell me the info,
Yeah.
because, we're gonna do some restructuring, I think, and Abby can explain it better than I, but we are on the books for, first week of March, I think we're going to visit with Hillcrest. I know that's not exactly what you're talking about, but.
No, but it's a big nonprofit. They're dealing with transitional housing and so forth. And Tom Lally, like I said, he's been with Habitat for Humanity. He's done a few other things. He's a Ward graduate, so, Native Dot, so he's been around for a while. But
Our availability, we confirmed our availability this morning.
I know Dr. Hill was doing some consulting with them as well and everything. So I think just having those champions and those advocates in those key areas, I know it's rumored that, several of the people on the commission are also gonna be running for mayor too, so maybe you've already had some talks and negotiations with some of them, so maybe that will be even a better setup if they are in that position. So I just think, like you said, the relationships and in core positions where you can make a difference, I think it's gonna be key. I know Bill was a part of when it was the United Way of Wyandotte County. I know he was very active on that board with me. That's how I really got to know him.
He's there, by the way. I don't know if you've had a meeting yet this year.
Well, he's a big shot. So when we merged, when we merged with the Greater Kansas City one, he was one of the ones that was elevated over there and, but yeah, so no, I didn't make the cut for that one.
There for, I think, through the end of 2005, because I think he chaired the finance committee or something.
Probably.
He's gonna ride that term out.
Yeah.
They were,
Yeah, so I was hoping that will,
help with something with them.
okay, good. I just wanna make sure that we are represented because, like I said, since they're over, it's Greater Kansas City, but it's still not Wyandotte County. And so I'm just saying, I would just hope that someone from BPU would stay in that capacity if possible. I just hope that, I'm glad Bill is still there, but I'm just saying, I would like for BPU to be a part of that if that is, because I just think we need a presence.
We will stay involved in that because of all we do with them.
Mhm.
Really hard.
It just makes sense. It's a it makes sense. Okay. That was the only other thing I think that I had swirling around on my day off.
You're gonna have something.
On my day off for
I'm really
President's
sorry,
Day.
I didn't get the day off.
On the cold day.
We don't take
Pamela
President's
Smart
Day
reached
or
out to
any
you,
other day.
I hear.
Yeah. So we got some emails from her this morning, and had a call with her this morning.
Good, good.
I didn't see Chris after she got done to ask her what,
Well,
about, but
February 28th, there is a premiere, at Cinemark for leaders in the community to look at a viewing and then, talk about some action steps regarding as to involvement and what they're gonna do with homeless here in Wyandotte County. And so, that's what that,
I did see Unified Government got a hold of Mr. Privatera, and they're using this building again for this because they had crowding issue at Willow Gill, and
Yeah,
I think they had
I saw them when I was driving up, they were all lining up because of the, once the temperature's at a certain level.
they had a little bit of a salt issue up there on the weekend. They're trying to thin it out a little bit, move around. They're gonna run that through the end of the week.
Okay, that's how, I wondered, I saw them line up. I was like, I thought they had already leased that area, but at least
I'll
it's
send you
space.
that email. I'll forward it to you, the email.
So from Willow Gill, yeah.
Mary's fault.
That's good, I'm glad you're involved.
What?
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, team.
Amen.